How's it going, guys? I hope you guys are having a great week. So we're here today, guys, to talk about some indie games. As you guys all know, one of my biggest goals this year was to showcase more indie titles on the channel because I often feel that there are some real gems out there that just don't get the marketing or attention that they rightly deserve. Now, every year, Steam are pretty decent in terms of trying to showcase some upcoming indie titles. And during E3, they have what's called the Summer Steam Fest, which is where there are hundreds of demos that you can download and check out for a variety of indie titles. Now, I jumped in during that E3 week and I played a lot of demos, and these were the 7 of the most interesting looking games that I really enjoyed, and I do think that these titles deserve a place on your wish list. Now, these are in no particular order. In fact, I've kind of put these in release date order for you guys, and we're going to kick off with the first game today, which is Cult of the Lamb. This game is developed by Massive Monster and it is actually set for release on the 11th of August, and it was one of the best demos that I played this summer. Cult of the Lamb is a roguelike action-adventure game which follows a possessed lamb who is saved from death by a stranger called the One Who Waits. You must ultimately repay this debt by creating a loyal following in the stranger's names. Players have to start their own cult in a land of false prophets, venturing out into diverse and mysterious regions to build a loyal community of woodland followers and spread your word, becoming the one true cult. The game focuses on 2 main elements, that is specifically building your flock by collecting and using resources to build new structures and performing dark rituals to appease the gods and give sermons to reinforce the faith of your flock, and destroying the non-believers by exploring a massive randomly generated world, fighting off hordes of enemies and defeating rival leaders in order to absorb their power and assert your cult's dominance. I was incredibly impressed by this game, by what I saw and my experiences with the demo. Cult of the Lamb has quickly climbed my list of most anticipated indie titles coming out this year. I love the art style, I love the premise. The combat was actually quite challenging but really fun, and I even loved the kind of base building elements with the feeding and growing your flock and building parts of that. So yeah, Cult of the Lamb was a little gem, and I'm very much interested in it, and that is why it is definitely on my wish list, and I'm hoping to pick it up and actually cover it on the channel and hopefully review it for you guys. The second game that I'm super interested in is Metal Hellsinger. This is developed by The Outsiders and is set for release on the 15th of September. Hellsinger is actually a rhythm first-person shooter game where your ability to shoot on the beat will enhance your gameplay experience. The more in sync you are, the more intense the music will become and the more destruction you will cause. Ultimately, you have to strike terror and fight your way through hordes of demons and devils as you fight through 8 hellscapes, or maybe 8 levels within the game. I haven't played that many rhythm games, I will be honest. I did play a little bit of the Crypt of the Necrodancer, and that was really fun, but this is the first kind of first-person shooter rhythm game I've played, and this game has a kick-ass soundtrack. It has a rocking heavy metal soundtrack which just really gets into you. It's really addictive, and the combat, the gameplay was a lot of fun. There are a variety of weapons that you can use, from revolvers to shotguns to blades. Thankfully, the game isn't that punishing, so if you do shoot off beat, it doesn't completely stop the game, so it is forgiving in that way. And as you do start to pick up the rhythm, you just really get in the zone. This game is a lot of fun. I think it's a game where you'll be able just to kind of switch your brain off and just really get into the rhythm of the music and the combat, and I'm really looking forward to playing more. I really enjoyed my experiences with Metal Hellsinger, and that is why it's definitely on my wish list, and I think it deserves a place on many other people's wish lists, especially if you are a first-person shooter fan and you also like your rhythm games. The third game that really interested me is Signalis. This is developed by Rose Engine and is set for release on the 27th of October. Signalis is a classic psychological survival horror game set in a dystopian future where humanity has uncovered a dark secret. You play as Elster, a technician replica searching for her lost partner and lost dreams. The ultimate aim is to discover terrifying secrets, scavenge an off-world government facility, overcome challenging puzzles and nightmarish creatures. Signalis offers an intriguing, tense-filled atmosphere as players must discover clues and survive with limited resources and ammo. With an aesthetic reminiscent of Alien and a gameplay loop and top-down perspective that screams Resident Evil, 2022 is definitely setting itself up to be the year for sci-fi horror games. And after playing the demo, I am definitely blown away by my experience with the game, and I am looking forward to seeing what the final game has to offer. Signalis, I love the atmosphere of the game, and yeah, I think anybody that's a fan of the original Resident Evil style of perspective and puzzle solving and tense atmosphere, I think Signalis is definitely going to be a game for you. I had heard nothing about this title before I played it during the Steamfest, so after playing the demo, I'm very interested, and obviously that is why it is on my wish list. The fourth game that piqued my interest was Moonscars. This is developed by Black Mermaid and set for release at some point in 2022. Moonscars is a 2D hack and slash platformer featuring skill-based combat. The game is set in a rich, dark fantasy world where the fierce Claiborne warrior Grey Irma battles, driven by a lonesome purpose. Find the sculpture and unravel the mystery of her existence. In Moonscars, players will face off against the relentless darkness that seeks to destroy you. After playing the demo, I can say that the combat feels both weighty and satisfying, offering a good range of up-close, brutal melee and ranged magical attacks with plenty of scope for progression and skills-based gameplay to keep hack and slash fans happy. I really enjoyed my time with Moonscars. I think if you're a big fan of interest to you, and that's definitely why I think it deserves a place on this list. The fifth game that piqued my interest was Spirittea. This is developed by Cheesemaker Games, awesome name, with a release date that simply says coming soon, so no confirmed date yet. Spirittea is a relaxing life sim inspired by games like Stardew Valley and spirit-themed anime like Spirited Away or Yokai Watch. In Spirittea, you play as a writer who has moved to a small town in the countryside in the hope that a change of scenery will inspire you to finish writing your book. As it turns out, this quiet town is plagued by natural disasters, strange accidents, and mysterious occurrences. After drinking from an ancient teapot, you gain the ability to temporarily see into the spirit world and discover that the town is haunted by a bunch of angry spirits. In order to appease these spirits and ultimately save the town, you become the custodian of an old bathhouse on a sacred mountain where the spirits once rested. It is your job to ensure that they have an enjoyable experience and convince them to soak their stress away. Players will need to manage the bathhouse, keeping the furnace hot, the towels washed and dried, while cleaning the facilities and even cooking and scrubbing the backs of certain spirits. Time management is key in this game, and this element of the game reminds me heavily of Overcooked, although less frantic. Players can also befriend locals, go fishing, and spend the money given to them by happy spirits to restore the old bathhouse back to its glory days. The premise is adorable, and the gameplay loop is actually very addictive, and I enjoyed my time with the demo and would highly recommend it, which is why it is on my list. But yeah, I love the idea of Spirited Away meets Stardew Valley, and I really enjoyed my time with the demo, and yeah, it was very relaxing, should we say, but also very addictive, and I very much enjoyed it. The sixth game coming out that I'm interested in is The Cub. This is developed by Demagogue Studio with no confirmed release date yet. The Cub is inspired by classic Sega platformers like Aladdin and Lion King. It sees players take on the role of an abandoned Earth child who travels through the ruins of a crumbling world while solving environmental puzzles puzzles and avoiding human tourists from Mars along the way. The game is set after a great ecological catastrophe. The ultra-rich flee to Mars and leave the rest to perish. You play a small child who developed an immunity and is left alone on the hostile planet to survive. Decades pass and those on Mars venture back to Earth to do recon. When they spot the human child known as the Cub, they immediately try to capture it. This sets off a journey of escape, exploration and discovery through the urban ruins of humanity in a frantic cat and mouse chase. The parkour in the Cub is fun and at times brutal as you puzzle your way through when to jump, grab, climb or slide to safety, all the while avoiding the evolved wildlife, dangerous hybrid flora and more technologically advanced humans pursuing you. Accompanying you on your journey is Radio Nostalgia from Mars, a custom soundtrack that offers thought-provoking survivor stories and a collection of chill tunes. The Cub left a lasting impression on me and it's why it is here on my list. Really enjoyed it. I'm a massive fan of the old Sega platformers like Aladdin and The Lion King. I grew up on those games, so I'm all for a game that is kind of inspired by that level of difficulty in terms of platforming. I really enjoyed the Cub. I found the gameplay loop really addictive and really fun. Love the art style, really enjoyed the soundtrack with it as well. So I'm very much looking forward to checking this out in more detail, and that is why it is on my wish list. And finally, the last game that earned a place on this wish list is Nine Souls. Of course, saving the best for last, Nine Souls is developed by Red Candle Games with a rough release date of Q2 2023. Nine Souls is a lore-rich, hand-drawn 2D action platformer featuring Sekiro-inspired, deflection-focused combat. You explore the land once home to an ancient alien race and follow a vengeful hero's quest to slay the Nine Souls, formidable rulers of this forsaken realm. Red Candle Games have created a stylish Tao-punk world that blends cyberpunk sci-fi elements with Taoism and Far Eastern mythology. The developers set the story up as follows. The game begins in New Kunlun. The Solarians' last sanctuary has remained quiet for centuries. Inside this vast realm, the ancient gods bequeathed mortals with a promised land that is forever protected by a set of sacred rituals. Yet the truth of this world remains unknown to most. Everything changes when Yi, a long-forgotten hero from the past, is awoken by a human child. During the course of the game, you will follow Yi on his vengeful quest against the Nine Souls and obliterate any obstacles in your way using Sekiro-like style combat. The combat in the game was extremely responsive and satisfying, offering a good degree of challenge. Yi's most powerful skill is deflection, which when timed right allows you to avoid damage, but also to absorb and accumulate energy called Chi, which can be used then to launch a stylish charged attack. Having succeeded in deflecting an enemy's attack, you can reverse or deflect the damage onto enemy targets by sticking a Chi-filled talisman known as a Fu Charm onto an enemy body during a charged attack and blowing them up with a spell. It's an incredibly cool looking move that leaves you feeling like a ninja. Though I didn't get to try it out, apparently Yi will also have to have use of a godly bow for ranged attacks. The enemy varieties and designs that I saw in the demo were incredibly cool looking and distinct. I was blown away by the polish and quality that I saw, and I can't wait to play more. Apart from Cult of the Lamb, probably Nine Souls is one of my most anticipated indie titles that I got to play this summer. A lot of these games that I've talked about in today's video do have demos, so you can pop over to Steam and you can certainly download the demo and check out the game for yourself. I will also link the description page for each of these games in the description below, so do definitely go check them out, check out the demo, play it, and you know, if you do enjoy it, add it to your list, your wish list, please. It really does support indie developers. The more people that add their games to the wish list, the more coverage, the better it's going to do on Steam in terms of viewership and, you know, that algorithm there to get it on the store page, to get it front and center, shall we say. So please do check these games out. Let me know what you think of them in the comment section below. And if you do enjoy them, please do wishlist them. It really does help out those indie developers. So let me know what you guys think of this style of video. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see me showcase more indie titles on the channel and do more of these styles of videos, then please do let me know, and I will definitely take on board your feedback. Hope you guys found the video useful, interesting, informative. If you did, don't forget to support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing. It really does help. Anyway, hope you guys have a great week, of course. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.